Minutes before Shabbos, I didn't even have time to prepare a beer, but we'll have to probably work that out through Shabbos. I just want to jump into we'll learn a little bit of Torah Air, the Alter Rebbe's teachings, the first of Amish Rebbe. And so it explains welcome. I know it's just minutes before Shabbos, but let's squeeze something in if we can. It says, Perish Inyan Yaved. What does it mean that you serve Hashem? Hu Lashon Avud Eres. It's the way you would tan hides. Shayidei Avud Mishtanim Harbe L'mal Yusa. That by working the leather, you make it the skin, you make it into leather and becomes superior quality material. So too your thought, speech, and action, which are also called garments, have to be washed from time to time. Welcome. Hey Ted, Rachel or Rachel, and Kakab. You must be from and it's pronounced twice. That's the way they do it, I guess, that they double the name. Bug. Hey. We have the sages that have double names, interestingly. So here we're saying to serve God the word to serve here is the same word as tanning hides. It means you take something and make it a superior quality. Kach binin levushim, and now so too with regards to the garments of your soul. You have to make sure that they're free of any dust or decay. You have to wash and cleanse them, just like you would wash physical clothes. You take clean water and you clean your clothes with it. And then it will be fine and clean. Which is not so the case if you don't cleanse them. They're not going to be nice garments. So your thought, speech, and action has to always be refined and cleansed. And this is the difference between it's said about a person who serves God and someone who does not. It's by you do this cleansing through transforming the darkness in your personality to light and the bitterness that exists within us to sweetness. You transform that, and that's what it means to improve your hide, your skin. You make of an animal skin tanned leather. So you transform your inclinations to something that can be used for a holy purpose. In order to transform your personality, to make yourself a pure, whatever you are, but more pure version of you, still 30 times. That's through the water of knowledge. The way you transform yourself is through da'as. We've spoken about da'as at length here. I think it's the midah that I speak about most here. I think that's we need to correct is da'as. We have to be present and aware and sensitive. Das is a sensitivity. So you have to have the mei hadas, the waters of knowledge, shadas upnimius amidas, because that is actually the inner quality of your character is being engaged, being present, das, awareness. So this comes from Moses, who is the faithful shepherd who gives to his flock all their spiritual needs, which is da'as. Moshe he's known for chokhmah, but he's also known for da'as. It was a derdeya, it was a generation of knowledge, people who were aware, who felt things. Shenemar bay v'nesati Esav. So it said of Moshe, who's the faithful shepherd, he gives the grass, the Nasati Esav, I've given the grass in its time. V'gam marach and also they are cleansed. So you immerse yourself in the water of knowledge, and they're cleansed by supernal water, me'eber hanar, which is said where Abraham came from the other side of the river. So that's talking about the other side, means here the transcendent side, the spiritual world. That's the cleansing force when you tap into that. The Kamesh Kasuv Keider Rachelim Shem Zera Bahima Shalumina Rachsachul Reichatzes Bachalav, washing in milk. And that's the whole idea of, it says you shall refine the law. Libun is a process of burning something until you've gotten rid of all the impurities. Like you do for Pesach when you want to blowtorch your sink. And this is accomplished through prayer. You attain this mehadas, this water of knowledge, this being immersed, this immersive experience in the inner quality of your character, which is presence. All of your character traits are only worthwhile if you're present in that mode with whoever you're interacting with, or the world itself. So the way you attain that is through tefillah. She'az hu shas hakesha li'eskilu hadas, because that's when you are able, it's the appropriate time when you've shut everything out and you said, I'm not answering my phone for half an hour. And that is the auspicious time to have the experience of das, the hispainis, through meditation. As we say in Shemana Esrei, the first blessing we say is to be sensitive and to be aware, to have das. That's the first of the 12 brachas. I guess there's 3 in the beginning and 3 at the end and 12 in the middle. And by so doing, by davening, that's the cleansing of the garments of the soul. And that's why it calls prayer an ongoing offering. Thank you. An ongoing offering that you have to offer the tamid every day, twice a day. Because everything good you do has wings at the time of prayer, and you take it all up to a more spiritual dimension. You could do a lot of good things in this world, and I'm sure it has a tremendous karmic impact. But if you take the time to be in a state of prayer or meditation, you take that all to a higher source. It's sort of experienced at its source, because everything physical has a spiritual source. So you've rooted it in its source, and therefore whatever impurities came down through this process of tzimtzum from a spiritual realm to a physical realm, it's all cleansed at that point. You've attached it to its source, and there's only good in its source, and all the superficial dirt is washed away. That happens through prayer. Because through prayer, one refines and corrects. It's the same word as avida, which is avud eres, to work to hides, to work leather, is the word used to describe devotion, because it takes something that's very coarse and you mix it into a fine garment. The kol zehu b'sheis alf shana dahave alma, and that's only in the 6,000 millennium of the world, millennia. V'zehu sheish shanim ya'aved, and that's why you have 6 years you shall work. You always have a 6th and a 7th. Ve'az amru tzadikim ein lahem nucha yelchu l'chayil v'choyel. And then that it says the righteous have no rest. They go from strength to strength in their experience. Aval ubeshvis ve'elef hashvi yatzel l'chafshi chinam. But on the 7th, the slave goes free, as the laws in this week's parsha discuss, and that corresponds to the 7th millennium, which we're about to enter. Chinam b'lei mitzvahs. Then you don't have to do mitzvahs in order to get a reward. The reward would be obvious. Because then there's going to be eternal rest. That there's nothing higher than that. That's the epitome of existence, is in this state of chinam b'lei mitzvahs, free without the need to prove yourself, I think is the point. It just comes naturally. You can't be, in other places the Rebbe explains this idea, that at that point you can't be commanded. It's not that there's not, you're not gonna necessarily do anything against God's will. You will automatically do God's will. So you cannot be commanded to do something that you're inclined to do. It's only when it's possible that you can do something different. Like you don't tell a plant not to stay up too late. Have a good Shabbos. Sorry I didn't have any beer to say the time, but refuah shleima anyways to all those who need a refuah. Kiva Gershon and Racha Bastich for refuah shleima. David ben Masayid should have a refuah shleima, and everyone have a restful, peaceful Shabbos, and let's see Mashiach together.